Recording in progress.
Okay, good morning, friends. Shalom Aleichem. We're continuing in Mishna Berura Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Tzadi, Seif. We're learning Siman Tzadi, Seif, Yud Gimel. Siman Tzadi, Seif Yud Gimel. This Siman is entitled Machon Maggid Harakiah Matzibur V'din holiest Badarach. Seif Yud Gimel. Mutter laroik v'beis hakneses v'dars v'raglav imechasel begemi. It's mutter to spit in a shul, and you could step on it, or you cover it with rubber or sap. It says in Mishna Berura, laroik v'beis hakneses. It's a mitzvah to it's mutter to spit in shul. Purest not during the Amida. Ela kagan kriya Shema u'berchaiseha, during Shema or the brachas. The Dirshu brings, what if somebody's makbid, he doesn't spit in his house? So the Shar Tzion says, maybe it's also to do so in the shul. Okay. The Arizal was makbid not to spit in the shul. Aval b'tfil Shemana Esrei also larak, during Shemana Esrei it's also to spit. Kila kaman siman tzadi zayin sif beis ayin sham. Again, this is somewhat cultural or societal. It was much more prevalent back in the day. They had spittoons on every table. But here it could happen. You know, somebody has a lot of phlegm, so during the rest of davening you could get rid of it as needed. During Shemana Esrei, one should be more discreet about it. V'darsa b'raglav, you step in a shul yeh megula, so it's not uncovered. Neha kavod, out of respect for the shul. V'roitza shelo yarak tadir v'veis hakneses. If a person wants to make sure that he's not constantly spitting, yilas kaidem knisasar sharish maslik shikran licorice. You should chew before you enter a sweet root of licorice. Now this is not talking about Pashka's red licorice here. It's the actual licorice. I know what you're asking. How can you do it before davening? It's permitted in the morning. It's not arrogant to be chewing on licorice to minimize your saliva that gathers. And also, you're not actually eating it. Any doctors could explain why they used to spit more back in the day than today? Like, do they have more spit then?
There were less tissues.
That's tissues.
And they had dirt floors.
Yeah, but why were they spitting so much? You're not allowed to chew on the licorice Erev Yom Kippur, Erev Tisha. Why? Sheyishar hamasikus bepiv. Because the sweetness will remain in your mouth. When you swallow the saliva, you'll end up swallowing some of the sweetness. If there's straw, gemi, or reeds, you don't have to rub it in. It's already covered in the floor material. Okay. Seif Yud Daled. Yashkim Adam. Leveis hakneses kadei sheyimane im ha'asar rishayim. A person should get up early to be counted with the 10 first people in the shul. So you wanna be from the asar rishayim. It's even a halacha. You should try to be from among them. It's from a Gemara Brachas Daf Mem Zayin. The Timer Devira has an interesting cheshbon, because Chazal say that whoever's from the Asar Rishonim, you get schar keneged kulam. Timer Devira has a Kabbalistic explanation for this, namely that in 10 is included all, just like by the spheroids, each sphera encompasses all the others, so too, of the 10, each one encompasses the others. So he has a cheshbon, it's like you get schar for 100 people. However, this din of being asar rishonim is not if you come to shul to learn. Meaning, if you're learning and there are 10 people already preparing for davening before you, then you're not from the Asar Rishonim. You're the first guy in the shul. Yeah, you're not. The shot clock doesn't start until you start preparing for Shacharis. He says, "V'davka sheispala shami mahem." By the way, the Kaf HaChaim says that if you can't make it to be the Asar Rishon for Shacharis, you should at least try to do it for Mincha. Reb Chaim Falaji says you should do it for Shacharis and you should do it for Mincha Amarav. V'hari lo haya min Rishonim. That Rizal, however, was not from the Asar Rishonim. Ki hutzrach li panois, he had to defecate, he had to clean himself out. Shahaya lo choili, he had an illness. V'gam kadei sheilech mu'utav b'tal sutun l'beis hakneses. And also he wanted to go to shul wrapped in the talis and tefillin. V'zeh efshar koydem hayoim. And that's not possible before the day. So in other words, you'll say, well, very nice who wanted to go talis and tefillin. So wake up early, put on your talis and tefillin, and walk through the streets. No, he can't put on the talis and tefillin because it's before daybreak. So he had to wait until Mishayakir. And once Mishayakir came and he put on the talis and tefillin, to walk in the streets this way, he's not going to make it to the Asar Rishonim. Now I have a question on this. It's very nice that Rizal wanted to walk in the streets with talis and tefillin, but nowhere in the Gemara does it say you have to walk in the street to shul with your talis and tefillin. But the Gemara does say you need to be from the Asar Rishonim. So why would the Arizal give up the merit of being Me'asar Rishonim in order to be Mekayim entering the shul with the talis and tefillin? In other words, why did the Arizal give precedence to the Minyin of going into shul with talis and tefillin over Asar Rishonim?
Maybe there's a difference between that and the hour and the Amon is more important for who.
Okay, what is that difference? In other words, these are two inyanim. You would think that what is found in the Gemara is more important than... Now, L'maisa, this does show us the importance of going into a shul wearing talis and tefillin. We saw that nowadays that you can't really walk in the shul with talis and tefillin. There is an Minyin, let's say, to put on talis and tefillin in a side room and then walk into the shul wearing talis and tefillin. And I would also add that if possible, you should, the highest level would be to do both. To come early enough to put on talis and tefillin in a side room so that when you get into the room where they're davening, you're still from the Asar Rishonim. L'maisa, the Arizal gave priority to the Minyin of walking in wearing... Now here the Mishnah Berura says, "V'zoyar nasai isa sheyisasu asar b'yachad v'yavad le'sek neses." Gather 10 people, let them put on the talis and tefillin, presumably, and let them walk to shul so that they get both. That's how I'm reading it. Okay, weiter. You went to a late Marav. There's one guy, he's still davening. He's in a shul in the city, or a shul in, he's in a shul in the field, or a shul in the city. Imhi tfilas arvis. If it's Marav, shemis famila daven at night. Chayiv chaver lahamtin layat shisam tfilasai. His friend is obligated to wait for him until he finishes davening, kedei shel yizbabel b'tfilasai, so that he is not confounded in his tefillah, because he'll be nervous if he's going to be left alone. V'yesh machrin afil b'yoyim. Some are machmir not only at night but even during the day. Uvebatei hakneses shalanu shein be'ir, or even in our shuls that are in the city. However, if the guy, is being marich, you see he's by Rafa'inu and he takes out this settle, of the name of every choyle registered in every hospital in the plains of the United States of America. So you don't have to wait for him. Says Mishna Berura Lahamtin. This din that you got to wait for the guy is only if the guy came on time. That's if you came at the same time. If he came in by himself late, at a time that there's no way he could finish his tefillah, since he saw that he won't be able to finish, and he entered, he shows that he's not worried. It's a midas chasidus to wait for him even in this case. Now if your wife is waiting for you, it's also, you don't want to keep her waiting, and that's not midas chasidus. So you could be Makai midas chasidus as long as the only thing on your schedule is waiting for this guy. Fine. Now, basically, don't leave a guy alone in shul. Does that apply bisman hazeh? Why would a guy be nervous? What about these shuls? The door locks, they have security. Obviously, if there's a security guard, so he's not the last guy in. I don't think it has to be a Jew. But what if there's no security guard, but the door's locked? So what's he worried about? I guess you could say he has to walk outside, he has to go to his car, there's nobody around. Fine. Sivkatan tes zayin. Hachoylech badarach. Someone who's going on the road, he gets to the Sirot Salam, he wants to lodge. Im lefanav ad arba mila makam shasam ba'asara. If in front of him, meaning in the way that he's going, up to 4 mil, there's a place that they're going to dam with him. Minyin sach leilech sham, he has to go there. Right now he's a little bit tired. He wants to rest for the night. If he travels another 4 mil, he'll get a minyan. He should go there and get a minyan. Ula achrav, what about going backwards? He has to go up to 18. He has to go up to a mil. Kedei l'spala ba'asara. Says the Mishnah Berura, v'radza lolan ba. Hu adin ba'boike. The same thing would be in the morning. If on the road in front of him, within 4 mil, yishmakim shasam ba'asara, there is a minyan. How long is a mil? The Chazonish says 1,152 meters. According to Reb Chaim Noah, 960 meters. However, Rabbi said this din of going a mil backward or 4 forward is davening with the minyan. Don't make a mistake and think davening with the minyan means to hear Kaddish, Baruch Hu, and Kedusha. That is not called davening with the minyan. Davening with the minyan means you'll daven Shemona Esrei with a minyan. But to hear Kaddish, Kedusha, Rabbi Yosef Chaim Zonenfeld says you don't need to go out of your way. I don't know if it means at all, but these shiurim do not apply. The Eishal Avram Buchach is Mesupik. What about Legabe Kriyas HaTorah? Now, Yamtin ad sheyagia Shem Yishua until you get there. Again, that's provided that by traveling there, you're not going to miss the Zman Kriyas Shema and Tefillah. Im lefanav, if in front of you, dafka badarcha ilachas lefanav, dafka on the road that you're taking in front of you. Shebalav hachi yitzarch levasav leilcham, it's the road you'd have to go there regardless. Aval b'tzadin, but if it's off to the side, so it's taking you out of your way, that's like mila achrav. So, when it comes to seeing an erva, milafanav and stadim might be the same, but when it comes to traveling for a minyan, it's dafka the road that you're going to be going anyway. But if it's off to the side, that would be like mila achrav. Leilech sham, you have to go there. Provided that you're not going to have to go by yourself there. And it's also talking about it's still day. Even if you get there, you could get there while there's still sunlight outside. Otherwise, to go off on your own, or to go and you're going to get there when it's dark, you're not mechuyev de la'olam yikanes adam b'chitay. Meaning, if, let's say like this, it's close to nighttime, you want to spend the night and there's a holiday in. But if you travel another daled mil, you could get a minyan. The only thing is, if you have another mil, you're going to arrive at nighttime. If it's the night anyway, then you got to go. But if by prolonging your trip, it's going to now be night, you don't have to go. Why? Says Mishna, I'm prima gadam shekazav aderech im nezamin la'asar l'sal mincha achar chatzi shosh achar rashai. That if you're on the road and 10 people, you have 10 people, and it's already mincha gedola, you're allowed to, even though otherwise it is not lechatchila to daven mincha gedola. Interesting. It sounds like davening at 12:30 is not lechatchila. We'll see in Reish Lamed Gimel. But if you're on the road and the minyan comes, so take advantage of it. Kan mutter, but if you're on the road, it's mutter. One more Mishnah Berura, we'll finish the Seif. Ula achra behind you, ayin b'sif katan akoidem. Look in the previous Seif katan. Let's say you're at home. How far do you have to travel if you're at home? It's like going backwards, you only have to go 1 mil. If you live in a settlement within 1 mil of a minyan, you need to go every day in the morning. You don't have to go at night. You don't have to travel at night, walk the streets at night for a minyan. Why? It's dangerous. Now, this Sif is, see, that was talking about, friends, in a yishuv. In a yishuv, you're out in the elements. But if you live in a city, then you have to go out for a minyan for Shachris, Mincha and Marav. This Sif is a open rebuke, shehim bo'ir, meaning the kula, they don't have to travel at night for a minyan, is b'yishuv. But if you're be'ir, and you're mesa'atza leich b'beis knesses, it's not correct. Now the $1 million question is, this shiur of 1 mil or 4 mil, is it a shiur in distance, that you have to go up to a mile behind you and 4 ahead? Or is it time? Let's say I'm in a car. So, do I only have to go 1 mil or 4 mil? But I could go 4 mil. Let's say there's a minyan ahead in 5 miles. But it only take me 5 minutes to get there. I don't have to go. How do you evaluate in a car? So by Hilchos Netilas Yadayim and Siman Sadi Vesiv Cutting at Zayin, the Mishnah Berura says that if you're on a train, you could evaluate it based on the distance, not on the time. Meaning, you could be lenient, that if you don't have to travel 5 miles, even by car for a minyan. But the Be'er Halacha says, L'gabi Netilas Yadayim L'suda, that you do have to travel up to that amount of time. So L'gabi Netilas Yadayim for tefillah, you could be lenient. L'gabi Netilas Yadayim for a suda, we're machmer. We're machmer on time. It's a stira. Why are we lenient L'gabi Netilas Yadayim for tefillah? I would have said because for tefillah you could just rub your hands potentially. But the Shas Jewish Shevet HaLevi explains that Netilas Yadayim for suda, we're machmer, because to eat without Netilas Yadayim is an Isser B'kum V'aseh. But for Netilas Yadayim l'tefillah, or for tefillah b'tzibor, we're lenient, and we evaluate based on the distance. According to, right, in other words, his chiluk is to eat without washing your hands for bread is an Isser. Memela, we would be lenient for minyan. My svara was that tefillah is a special kula, you could wipe your hands, but maybe for tefillah tzibor, maybe we would be machmer. By the way, comes Reb Chaim Kanievsky and he says the leniency that for washing your hands for tefillah, it goes by distance and not by time. That's only if you're riding an animal, because it's a pain in the neck to get on and off. But if you're in a car, we're machmir, up to 72 minutes to drive to get a minyan. V'chein halacha, that's Rabbi Yashav Paskins, not like the Shevet HaLevi. So the machlokes Rabbi Yashav and the Shevet HaLevi, if driving to a minyan, are we makel that it's based on distance, or are we machmer that it's based on time? Rabbi Isai, have a great day. Also an amazing one. Okay.